Android Studio. 2.1. Print a birthday banner with a border. Type the following code in Kotlin Playground, and run it. In your code, the printed statements at the top and bottom of the banner are exactly the same. Let's create and use a function to print these borders. 1. Create the print border function. Please note how the name of the function print border starts with a lowercase letter and a verb. Function names almost always start with lowercase letters and a verb. The name should describe what the function does. Like, print or here, print border parentheses. 2. Finish print border function. The style is called camel case, and makes the name easier to read. 2. In the main function, replace the line of code that uses printLine function, to print the border line with a call to the print border function. 3. Run your code. The printing result is the same. Repeating border pattern. For this border, instead of saying, print this string of 24 symbols, we can say print this symbol 24 times. In the code, you can use the repeat statement to accomplish this. 1. In the print border function, use the repeat statement to print 24 times equal signs. 2. Instead of using print line, use print, so that you don't jump to a new line after printing each equal sign. The repeat statement is called a loop, because it repeats or loops the same code many times. Use arguments to change the border. You can reuse the functions you have already written and make borders more flexible, so that it is suitable for different types of symbols. The cool thing about functions is that you can give them input using arguments. 1. At the top of main, create a variable named border for the border pattern. This will save the text to be repeated for the border. 2. Now, pass the border variable as an argument to the two calls to the print border function. You can do this by putting the border inside brackets, just as you provide printLine function with the text to be printed. 3. Run your code. Your code will not run. Instead, you will see an error icon next to the code. 4. Check the output panel, there is an error message. You are calling the print border function and passing the border as input. However, the print border function definition does not currently accept any input. 5. This error is fixed by adding a border parameter to the print border function definition. Note that the name of the argument is the border. The name is followed by a colon. The word string describes what type of argument it is. String specifies that the argument must be a string. Helps the system to force your parameters to be text, not numbers, for example. 6. Run your code. The print border function now accepts a border string as input. And the code in main calls print border, with border as the argument. Your code should run normally. 7. View the output of the program in the console, it still shows the same frame as before. 8. In the editor, notice a gray exclamation mark. This icon indicates a warning. 9. Hover the mouse over the exclamation mark and a message will appear. It says the parameter boundary has never been used. This warning indicates an output problem. You passed the new string of the border to the function, but you did not use it for printing. 10. Change the print border function to use the passed border instead of printing equal sign. This is exactly the same as if border was a variable you defined in the function. 11. Run your code again. The output should look like this. Modify the function to have two parameters. 1. In main, change the border to this mode. 2. Run your code and notice that the pattern is now too long. 3. In main function, below the defined boundary, Create a new variable named times to repeat for the number of repetitions. Set its value to 4. 4. In main function, when print border function is called, add the number of repetitions as the second parameter. As before, this code gives you an error, because you have more parameters to call print border function than in the definition of print border function. 5. Fix print border function to also accept the number of repetitions as input. Add a comma after the parameter, followed by an additional parameter, times to repeat, int. A comma separates the two arguments. Times to repeat is the name of the argument, followed by a colon symbol. Type, int. Times to repeat is a number, so instead of setting it to the string type, it's setting it to the int type. It is an abbreviation of integer, in integer. 6. In print border, change repeat to use the times to repeat parameter, instead of the number 24.